Hi, this is Selena, and I have finished another book, book number 9, in my quest to read 100 books. This book is called Goodbye Days, and it's a novel by Jeff Zentner, who is also the author of The Serpent King, which was phenomenal. This book, I loved it as well. It really made me start to think, and it was really interesting. It's about a young boy who has a group of friends that are really close, and he happens to text them one day when they're driving, and they have an accident because they answer this text, and all three of them die. So he's left alone. And it goes into all of this concept of, is this a criminal act? Is there some liability for him in, causing this? Which is interesting in today's society because some of the things, like, we don't think about that. Well, who can control whether they answer a text or not? But when you start to think about it, if he knew that he was driving and he knew that he would probably respond, is there some culpability in that? On top of this young man who is dealing with, grief and heartbreak because he's just lost all of his best friends, and the survivor's guilt that he has. So it was a really interesting book. And then there's a girl involved who also knew one of his friends, so they kind of start to bond. And I loved it. It was, an emotional book, just like Jeff Zentner's other book. I connected with the characters, and my personal connection, I thought, it made me stop to think several times when my own children are driving. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to text them because I don't want them to be tempted to look, even though we've told them not to text and drive and things like that. It's still that compulsion or temptation to look. So I do recommend this book. I think that it was just a good book to help remind us of some of those things, that what happens. The other part of the whole story, and hence the title Goodbye Days, is part of the way that this young man deals with the grief is he wants to go back and look at what would one last perfect day with this person look like. And he connects with their families to see if he can help them deal with the grief and him also deal with the grief by living one last day as if that person was still there, so that they can kind of get to know that person from the other one's perspective and to also have some closure. So highly recommend it. I would give it, I'm going to go with 4.5 out of 5 stars on this one because I really liked it. So check it out. Goodbye Days by Jeff Zentner.